This is a right-wing content creator, mogul male, different guy than Ludwig, friend of the show, friend of Atrioc, and also boyfriend of Cutie Cinderella. So let's take a look at what this right-wing content creator on YouTube has to say about it.
You're here, so let's talk about Atrioc.
Well, you can't hear it because I'm fucking silencing right-wing opposition.
You know why you're here, so let's talk about Atrioc. Normally when I make a mogul mail, it's a pretty simple process. I just find a topic I'm interested in, I do research on the topic, and I give my take. That's it. But for the first time ever, I felt pressure to make this video. It hasn't even been 48 hours since Atrioc, one of my friends, was revealed on-stream alt-tabbing, which exposed that he paid for a deep-fake porn website of streamers, of his coworkers, of pretty much every woman you can think of on Twitch or YouTube, my girlfriend included. Now, he did say in his apology that, you know, it was a video of someone he didn't know in real life, but I don't really think the nuance matters. Some people were mad at me in my DMs and they tweeted at me.
Yes, it was a paid site. That is what, like, I think adds insult to injury on top of the original injury, in my opinion. Yes. Like, that's crazy. Not that he paid for porn. That's normal, chat. Calm down. That he paid for porn made of people that he knows. Streamers, Twitch streamers that he works with. Like, you know, you're horny. Like, here's the thing, okay? Like, when you find yourself hornily putting your credit card information on a website like that, there's got to be a come to Jesus moment. That is not normal. Stop trying to make paying for porn a thing. What the fuck is wrong with you? No, it is normal. What do you mean? People pay for OnlyFans. I don't do it, but like I understand why people do it. Someone's got to fucking fund pornography. What do you mean? There are completely ethical ways of paying for porn. And then also a very unethical way of paying for porn, which is paying for porn that the parties in the porn did not consent to. That would be unethical.
That I've taken so long to make this video, but I hope you get that I prioritized being a boyfriend to my girlfriend, who's had a very shit past couple of days, over being like mogul male guy. But then when I sat down to think of like, okay, what am I supposed to say here? What is my take? It didn't feel like there was any other take to have than the one.
For the record, before we get into like what everyone's takes were, and you know, mogul male showing or you know, offering victims a voice instead of talking over it like I'm doing currently. One reason why people are immediately like, "Whoa, what do you have to say about this?" Well, not one reason. There's a couple different factors at play here, and I'm going to describe them very quickly. When something like this happens, and this person is, you know, a coworker of yours and a friend of yours, immediately people are like, "Oh, address it now, address it now." Sometimes it takes time to address issues like this. Okay, like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Especially when it is more complicated, considering that one of the victims of the website is your girlfriend. I think the reason why the expectation immediately is like, come out with a fucking reply immediately is, I believe, because people just want instant gratification. And we as streamers offer that to people. And for that reason, people think it's like normal to like immediately give you the satisfaction of my perspective, or, you know, give a not well thought out response so I can rip it apart and say, "Oh, look at you, you're being fucking biased about your friend. I knew you would be biased about your friend. I was waiting for this moment, and I saw that you were biased about your friend, and I got you. You're a bad guy." Or you could just be like me and say, Ludwig is a right-wing content creator because he's a YouTube essay guy, and YouTube essay guys and YouTube commentary guys are right-wing. You could just do that, which is what I do. Anyway, let's continue.
One being expressed by all the women online. So rather than tell you a random dude's opinion on all this, I figured I would just show you some of the tweets that I thought were poignant and powerful, and read them together. Starting with Pokey, who said, "Stop sexualizing people without their consent." That's it. That's the tweet, which I don't really even understand you would have a different opinion. If someone doesn't want to be sexualized and they don't consent to it, they shouldn't be sexualized.
Pretty open and
Next
shut.
tweet was-
Except, haha, just kidding. No, it's not. Oh my God. All of these takes are so normal and so valid, and yet that is not enough for people on the internet, because the amount of people I fucking saw that just replied to these fucking tweets by just being like a degenerate, perverted creep lord is fucking bananas, dude. Okay? Bananas. Like, why are people so comfortable being like, no, actually, fuck you, I'm a piece of shit? And then other people are just like glazing him up. They're like, yeah, King, be a piece of shit. Yeah. Fuck these women. You're right. It's fucking insane. I think I read this in fucking LSF comments somewhere. Okay. I don't know where the fuck I read this. I can't believe I'm admitting to this, but like someone was talking about how fucking awful TikTok misogyny is in comparison to Twitter. At least like the shit that you see on Twitter is oftentimes like hidden misogyny. Like they don't just go as overboard, even though that is still very much, obvious misogyny. But dude, TikTok is on a different level, bro. They literally make content about like killing women on dates and shit. It's psychotic. Anyway, let's continue.
From Ray, who said it should be illegal to profit off of somebody's likeness in sex work without consent, whether it's fake or not. Talking about it will bring those sites more attention, but I hope this helps take a step forward in the right direction so that a law can be made to protect people from being used in this way, which is a good point. Not only are these women not consenting, somebody is profiting off of them, and they're not consenting. Crazy. And to the second point about how it'd bring more attention, I feel a bit better about making this video now because the creator of this website took down the website. To be clear, he's still a weird, creepy piece of shit, but the website at least was taken down, so no one can, from this video, try to see what all was going on there. Next tweet is from Sweet Anita, who said, this story was how I found out that I'm on this website. I literally choose to pass up millions by not going into sex work, and some random Cheeto-encrusted porn addict solicits my body without my consent instead. Don't know whether to cry, break stuff, or laugh at this point. And I think, honestly, that's one of the biggest fuck-ups Atrioc did. Like, it is a fuck-up and a severe lapse in judgment to not only go to this porn website, but pay for this porn website. But then leaking it on stream caused a whole new world of harm because so many new people were exposed to this idea and then went out to seek what this idea was, to seek deepfake porn. Not only that, a bunch of women, because this was leaked, found out they were on the website. And if you don't know, my girlfriend and many other women pay sometimes thousands, tens of thousands of dollars a month just to make sure that like random photos of them being sexualized are not on the internet.
This is really something that I've talked about a million times over, but like this is the daily existence of being a like e-celebrity, as far as like bottom of the barrel celebrity on the internet. And it doesn't matter if you have fucking 50 live concurrent viewers. It doesn't matter if you have 10,000 live concurrent viewers. This is just an experience that all women go through in general in different ways. And the more famous you get, the more it gets elevated and the more it gets normalized. It's fucking crazy. Okay? It's absolutely insane. Like, I get stalked. I get cyber stalked. I get death threats regularly. I have people who are uncharitable and constantly fucking going crazy over anything and everything I do. And even then, I always tell you, like, what I'm experiencing as one of the largest Twitch streamers on the planet, who is a leftist, who is an out and about leftist, is still fractional in comparison to what most female content creators experience. Okay? It's just the truth. And there are so many people who are hiding under the guise of anonymity to do some of the most unhinged weirdo shit. The behavior or the takes that you see on your timeline about people saying like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck about these girls. Like they're just fucking crying for attention or whatever. is just a mere fraction, okay, of all of the harm that is conducted behind scenes, behind closed doors that you don't even see. Okay?
They pay money, which is not part of their job description, just so that it doesn't exist. And it's a lot different, by the way, because I've seen this take float around. If it's a woman being sexualized, then a man. And I think you can probably understand like how that was created over the past couple of centuries of humanity, where, you know, my balls being leaked is a funny thing, and then a woman's boobs being leaked leads to, like, you know, a bunch of teenage kids, acne-faced kids jerking off. I think
double bind. Not only that, but also simultaneously shitting on them as though they did it on purpose. Anytime a nip slip or something like that fucking happens, there's discourse by the very same circuit that literally sits there and seeks it out, relentlessly fucking masturbates to it, and then I guess in their post-nut clarity decide to also be doubly fucking vicious and say, she did it on purpose so I could fucking nut to it. What a slut. Okay? Which is like in any other circumstance, you would look to this person like a criminal. Okay? You'd be like, oh, this is like a person who is insane, like very clearly not all right, like mentally ill and also probably violent and should maybe go to jail or get some level of treatment. But on the internet, we fucking glaze that shit up. We're like, dude, this guy's got it. He's so fucking smart. I'm going to like it. I'm just like him. Keep cooking, bro. Oh, let the bro cook. Which is crazy. It's crazy. That's insane.
I think you can probably understand that. QDO had a good point, something that most people wouldn't have perspective on. The amount of body dysmorphia I've experienced since seeing these photos has ruined me. It's not as simple as just being violated. It's much more than that. Because at the end of the day, it's a deep fake. It's not you, but also it's what this person who made the AI deepfake is like projecting on you, but it's not. It's weird. It's weird. Brooke said, seeing some awful takes regarding this deepfake situation. We're all real humans with real lives that are affected by situations like these. It goes much further than it's not real. Please have some compassion and think beyond it's not affecting you in any way. Streamers are people. Streamers are humans. And I feel like...
Shocking. This guy with his crazy propaganda. Streamers are people? Sorry, I don't think so.
Sometimes they get treated like actors were treated like a decade or two ago, where they're not people, they're the mega rich actor, you know, fake George Clooney or Jennifer Lawrence or whatever. But streamers are so much easier to access, one, so it's much easier to hurt them, and two, so many more of them, and they are not.
Well, that's one aspect of it. That accessibility is the reason why a lot of people, put their crosshairs on people, on streamers instead, because when you fucking shit on George Clooney, you don't even have the expectation that he's going to hear you, and he won't hear you in most circumstances. Why the fuck would he be on Twitter? But when you shit on a streamer, they will most likely see it, and you're doing it specifically so they see it and turn around and fucking, get upset by your statements, derail the stream. That's your goal, and you're doing it. Hasan is a reaction video robot. Yes, I am not a real person. I am a robot.
All rich, famous. Some are just doing it as the only job that they like and can do, and there's not a lot of humanity in the interactions that I see with streamers. Maya had a really powerful screenshot tweet here that said, in 2018, I was inebriated at a party, and I was used for a man's sexual gratification without my consent. Today, I've been used by hundreds of men for sexual gratification, probably thousands, without my consent. The world calls my 2018 experience rape. The world is debating over the validity of my experience today. The debate over our experience as women in this is not, shockingly, amongst men. None of you should care or listen to what any male streamer's take is on how we feel. I founded a nonprofit animal sanctuary at 22. I've raised over $1 million for conservation at 24. I have created zero sexual content in my 3 years on Twitch. Despite this, my face was stolen so men could make me into a sexual object to use for themselves. If anyone doesn't think it's a big deal, that's my name in the headlines, where thousands of people are commenting on the sexualization of my body against my will. You're the problem. This situation makes me feel disgusting, vulnerable, nauseous, violated, and all these feelings are far too familiar to me. This is not your debate. Stop acting like it is. which might solicit some reactions from like guys watching, which is not all men, not me. And like, yeah, like, congrats. The bar was on the floor, but you weren't a weird fucking creeper. But you could also like understand.
Not AI porn, but Reddit has so many weirdo subreddits where people take and steal women's IG photos for fat material, and half the time it's taken and posted by women's friends or followers. Most of the time it's just a non-sexual image or a simple bikini pic or a workout pic. Yes. I found myself a couple years ago during lockdown. It felt like a gut punch to read people rating my body. Yes. That is what Ludwig is talking about when originally he said female content creators spend thousands of dollars a month for services that try to take these things down. And in a lot of instances, Reddit refused to comply for so many fucking years. Okay? That's why I'm saying this goes beyond just like famous women in general or e-celebs in general, but it's literally just like random people. I told you the story of the dude who went to jail for deep faking high school and middle school girls into pornography. Okay? It wasn't just that they were high schooler and middle schoolers that were fucked up. It was the fact that they were deep faking random people into pornography that is also illegal, on top of the fact that they were young girls. Okay?
That it's almost always a man. Like the dude who made the site, a man. The dude who leaked the site and paid for it, a man. Everyone who probably from that leak paid for the site, also likely men. Like disproportionately to women 100 times over. And I feel like it's okay to acknowledge that and use that information positively. And I want to end with this Medium article written by Josie, which I thought was really poignant. Which said, Atrioc apologized for viewing the deepfakes, and maybe he was telling the truth when he said it was a one-off mistake. A rabbit hole he tripped and fell down. I don't know if that makes it better. Doesn't matter. Is morbid curiosity a valid excuse for violating the privacy of people you know? How many women were unknowingly used as feature models on the site? Does the apology make up for sending an army of men to stare at every single woman on the site? Judy had a good analogy. Yeah, of course, he did not mean to send an army of men to this site. But you also don't mean to get into a car crash. That still doesn't mean that it's not a fucked up situation and that the pain from that car crash hurts. Ultimately, it's not really about Atrioc. He's just another man partaking in the problem. It's about men feeling entitled to every part of a woman online and the desire to consume so much that they are willing to rob women of their personhood. It's about the men who will defend him because they see nothing wrong with viewing women as solely vessels for their pleasure. It's worth reading all of that. I'll put it in the description. And any more of the tweets from the women who are streaming or who were on this website or who were a part of what happened here. I don't want to like be a defender of Atrioc, you know? Like that's not what I want to do. Like I do believe, maybe naively, as the guy who's been scammed for $50,000, that he isn't like a shitty, seedy person who's like secretly jacking off to my girlfriend. Like I don't think that's that guy. I think he fucked up. But sometimes like that's enough. Like one fuck up is enough. And like I just hope from here.
Yeah, to be fair, he did get scammed for 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 multiple times. But I do agree with his sentiment. I think he did something incredibly creepy, unacceptable, okay? The damage that he caused, I think he's aware of. Even though Ludwig is a very naive person, I think, as I say all the fucking time, sometimes good people, otherwise good people, do very bad things. And what Atrioc did was a very bad thing. Okay?
He just takes all the steps and all the actions, you know?
This isn't a fuck up. This is a major self-report in a level that is absurd. Jesus Christ, why are people even considering forgiving something like this? I didn't say that. I mean, to each their own. But this concept, this principle is never changing, okay? This isn't minimizing the impact I think that everyone is stating. You know what I mean? This is, like no one is undermining the impact of Atrioc's actions, unintentional and intentional, okay? But like I said, people have the capacity to reform, people have the capacity to change. I do think that I do personally, wait, hold on. 1 second. Wait 1 second. I got to text my manager real quick. This is more than just deepfake porn when it comes to Atrioc. It's very intentional to pay for a service to see his close friends naked. Hard to come back from that. You know, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. It is hard to come back from that. I agree. But I think that if there is a person who has the capacity to reform, it's usually someone that you got to look at their track record. And I think if there is someone who has the capacity to reform from this, I believe Atrioc will be that person.
To make it better. Like that there's some...
This doesn't mean you like immediately forgive him. If you don't want to forgive him, you have every right to not forgive him. Okay? You know, go ahead. I'm just simply stating to you that what I know of his past performance, his actions in general, I think that he is the type of person who is capable of reforming himself. And I think his apology spoke. His apology comes as like someone who is being genuine.
Good that comes out of this because of the guilt, the remorse he feels, and how he views himself in trying to show he is the man that he thinks and maybe I believe is still in him. He wrote his own tweet about how his apology on Twitter, how he's stepping down from off-brand to take time offline and to take these steps. You know, time will tell and show the actions that he takes, if they're fruitful, if they're not. I'm not going to show it because really this is about...
Did you know he was the kind of person who would jacket the deepfakes of people he knows? No, I did not. So you are making a good point about that. I did not. He is probably one of the last people that I would have thought would do that. Let's be real. Okay? That's true. That is a good point. But also it's like, it's just like you don't expect... It's not something you expect of anyone, really. Like, that's a... You know what I mean? Like, what? Like, that's not a thing that you see coming.
The women, I was just a vehicle for you to read all those tweets. There's the take. I feel like that's the only take to have. I don't know how you would have another one, but thanks for watching.